he's ready to drop anything at the drop of a dime to help a good friend. And Joe is just awesome people.
But I ain't finna look for bro. I tripped across them cause I seen it was planned. They try cut me out but didn't know how to count. Told her ring up and didn't know the amount. Expensive new berries I couldn't even pronounce. No gun polish to stick in the party. Hope nobody gets out of their body. Got himself hurt, he was full of that money. We ain't even wanna have to kill nobody.
Oh boy.
I told her, she found out stuff about me she never even knew. And he's just going back and forth, and it's powerful content. I've had a lot of tears. These past 3 weeks I've been very emotional. I've had a lot of tears and just people just talking about all kinds of stuff's coming up. You just never know what's going to come up. I mean, some of the things I don't really know because we don't talk about it. It just flows pretty naturally.
You can say your name and occupation.
My name is Rubin Burkett. I'm an investor. Okay.
Cool. How long have you known this guy?
Met him in 2015. He's a trainer at 24 Hour and downtown.
Yeah.
And I went in to train with someone else, and he called me the next day and told me I was like crazy for going with him, that I should go with him, and tried to like solicit me over, so that.
Nice.
Oh, that's not what happened.
And it worked?
It did actually.
Oh, that's not what happened actually, but kind of.
So Joe charmed his way into having you become his
No, it's actually not true. I was just kidding. I saw brochures and pamphlets, or maybe a sign there with Joe on it doing all his Spartan races. He's very inspiring. So I went through there and I looked at all the faces and all the trainers and everybody, and they were all pretty much lame. And I'd already paid for a bunch of settings, and I had asked him about Joe, and then the Ryan White, if you're watching this, you did this, he put me with someone else. And Joe calls me the next day, and I was happy because he calls me, and I told him that I wanted him to be my trainer, and for these reasons, that he appeared very inspiring, uplifting, and he is where I want to be in his life. And so he said, Joe said, well, I will see what I could do. You're actually you need to do what Ryan says. And I'm like, no, I don't. It's my money. And he says, okay, well, let me try. I said, there's no trying. When do you want to hook up? And that was it. I didn't give him a choice. And he's like, he's awesome.
Has he made an impact on your life?
In lots of ways. Lots of ways.
How so?
Joe's Joe. Joe's inspiring, uplifting. Joe can be a lot of work. He's very demanding, and you have to put in the work with Joe. But honestly, Joe, you could sit down and just chill with Joe, and he'll watch a movie or he'll climb a mountain with you, and that's what I like. I call Joe and I'll tell him, something's wrong, and he'll go, do I need to get a shovel? Where do we bury the bodies, And that's Joe. And that's Joe. He's awesome.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
That's actually pretty true. Yeah, I had this conversation with another friend of mine, and he's gotten really, really busy. He's in law enforcement, and we hung out the other night, and he says, it's kind of hard. I'm being dead serious.
No, I know you are. Go ahead.
He just said it's kind of hard to actually find real people in my life nowadays, where I feel like they understand me or that they hear me. I feel like my life is just very complicated, and then I have a lot of people in my life, but there's no substance to it. It's a lot of superficial relationships, and he's pleased to know that he can actually call somebody for something just like
right?
that.
Well, you're that person.
Figuratively speaking, it's kind of hard. Like, you call people, we all have lives, we're very, very busy, but to be that long lasting, year after year after year after year, we may not be in each other's lives every single day, but we can still show up to some extent. And he was just expressing gratitude that it's nice to have that. I told him, if you have one person, you're blessed, to have that. I feel like I have so many.
Well, I've called you before, and you've been on your anniversary dinner, or you're doing something with clients, and I say something's wrong. You're all, do I need to stop everything right now? Do you need me right now? and he's ready to drop anything at the drop of a dime to help a good friend. And Joe is just awesome people, and I'm very fortunate to know him. It's pretty funny, he just told you that one of his best friends are a sheriff or a judge or people in law enforcement and all these different things, and and he was in prison for all these years, and he did all these different things, and he can hobnob with the best of them and then still associate and speak to his old friends back in the day. The guy that hid the gun, you still talk to him?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, Joe's good people, and I'm lucky to have him in my life.
I mean, to put things in perspective, I have gotten close to Helena. She's a retired chief of the CHP, client of mine, and she most recently had a death in the family with animals, and she's confiding in me, and I'm sitting there trying to console her to the best of my ability. But how do you tell somebody that I'm sorry that your animal's dead? And I mean, we haven't really trained in a long time, but she still reaches out to me. So we trained for a specific amount of time, but she still feels comfortable reaching out to me over something like this, a death over an animal, and talking to me about her daughter. And Jim Barnes is her husband, and he ran for sheriff, most recently retired, and I got to meet him. So to his point, I just have a lot of people in my life of all walks of life, but I don't look at them any differently.
Very diverse.
I don't look at them as being law enforcement or a real estate agent or a nurse. I just look at them as people. And in the end, I think we should all look at one another as just people, not, well, this person, has tattoos, so he's put in this category. This person's very religious, so they're in this category, or he's super into fitness, and I guess he's a fitness person. I think I'm everything. I make mistakes just like everybody else. I acknowledge my mistakes, and let's move past it. With no judgment, hopefully.
So do you take your shirt off during in these interviews? I mean, I know Joe, his shirt comes off all the time. I mean, we'll be dancing, we'll be over here,
No,
It's about 5 to 15 minutes.
The shirt's usually off within the first half hour.
No, my shirt don't come off. So, yeah.
How long have you known him, Gabe?
He doesn't want to do it right now.
Are we miking you up right now?
Right?
No, he doesn't want to do it right now. That's perfectly fine.
Sorry, I meant to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I don't want to do that to him because I do want him to do it, but I want it to come from because he wants to do it, not because he doesn't want to do it.
Right?
Yeah. You want to add anything?
I love you.
Oh, love you too. Took me years to tell him that.
Yeah.
Now I hear it every day. He texts me every morning at 5:02. Every morning he texts me at the same time, and it's him texting me. It's not an automatic service. I've proven this, and he tells me every day.
Not automatic. So that's a good one.
It's true. I thought it was forever. I'm like, this fucker does this shit every day at the same time, and I was just impressed, and it's special. I look for it. If it stops, like he goes and parties sometime and sleeps late. And I'm like, something's up. Joe hasn't texted me.
If it gets past...
He doesn't text you when you get home, when he gets home. Like,
Someone's chiming in. Ask his name. I honestly think that's Gabe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he walks right by my house, so I hear him pull up sometimes and make noise, or his entourage is following him.
But I'll be in Folsom soon.
Yeah.
But I ain't finna look for pro. I tripped across them cause I seen it was planned. The truck had me out but didn't know how to count. Told her ring up and didn't know the amount. Expensive new berries I couldn't even pronounce. No gun polish to stick in the pot. Hope nobody gets out of their body. Got himself hurt, he was full of that money. We ain't even wanna have to kill nobody.